What's up, guys? Welcome to the First Take Fantasy YouTube channel. I am super excited to talk about the player we're talking about today. That is Mr. Jonathan Taylor, the running back for the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm here to tell you what exactly I see in him as a player and why I believe he's going to be a superstar in the NFL. Before we get into this video, I just want everybody to know Jonathan Taylor is 5'10", 226 pounds, but he runs a 4.39 40. So yes, he's an absolute freak of nature. This first clip here is just Jonathan Taylor doing things that other people cannot do. This is just a quick jump cut and then a 40-yard dash straight down the middle of the field, and he just outruns every DB on the field and scores a touchdown. So here we see how smart Jonathan Taylor really is. He sees that the defense is confused in the front seven, and he jump cuts to the left, sees the safety backing out to play a deep zone, and then he just knows it's off to the races, and it's a race he's going to win 10 out of 10 times. The straight line sprinter speed, along with the burst and explosion out of the jump cut and the vision to see that the defense is lacking 3 levels down all the way over in the secondary, is something that really only Saquon Barkley has shown us before. So if Jonathan Taylor is the only other guy in the NFL that can do that, I think we're looking at a pretty good player moving forward. So here we have Jonathan Taylor in a power formation. It's 4th and 2. Northwestern knows what's coming. There's 2 fullbacks on the right side, so you know it's going to be a power run to the right side. So what happens here? Jonathan Taylor gets a good block, and then it's one-on-one in space with the safety, shakes him, makes him miss, scores a touchdown. So this right here is probably my favorite play from Jonathan Taylor. So this is really what elite running backs do. When there's nothing there and you don't have anything blocked for you, how can you use your lineman to create yards for yourself? And this right here is exactly what Jonathan Taylor does. He has nothing. He sees his cutback lane is clogged by the opposite side linebacker. He keeps running, stays patient behind his lineman. As soon as there's a gap for him to set up a block, he puts his foot in the ground and goes straight upfield and gets as many yards as he can on a play where he really shouldn't have gained a single yard. This is the things that guys like Le'Veon Bell, Alvin Kamara, Zeke, Christian McCaffrey, they all do, and Jonathan Taylor can be added right onto that list. Here we have a video of Jonathan Taylor running just your basic angle route, and he just breaks off the linebacker, 1-2, cuts in, and then gets yards after the play. So he has serviceable pass catching ability when he is called upon to do so. This is just absolutely insane. Right here, it's a weak side dive, and Jonathan Taylor spins off of the safety and then accelerates for an extra 30 yards on this play. This is just your basic outside zone, and it's very well blocked. But what's impressive here is Jonathan Taylor understanding his speed. He gets past the corner and then veers off to the left, making the safety track him down. Different angle here. Jonathan Taylor's ability to cut back and then accelerate and then know his speed to be able to separate from the secondary is simply unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor shows incredible patience and vision, and he also trusts his fullback. So he uses his fullback in order to spring a block on the linebacker, and while doing so, he also veers over to the left and then cuts back to the right in order to use the fullback to avoid the safety. Plays like this are especially important because in Indianapolis, he is going to be running behind Pro Bowl fullback Roosevelt Nix. So if he can trust his fullback and get on the same page with him, then he's going to explode behind this offensive line. And here we just have a video of Roosevelt Nix doing what Pro Bowl fullbacks do, creating a huge hole for Le'Veon Bell. Jonathan Taylor's processing is something that will thrive on the next level. He sees the strong side linebacker blitzing the strong side A-gap, and he knows that no one is replacing that linebacker. So once he gets past that blitz, he just shoots exactly where the strong side linebacker was, and it's a 15-yard gain. Here, Jonathan Taylor uses a jump cut to create a hole for himself, so he jump cuts and the safety's feet are frozen in this moment, and he knows he has a lane to accelerate through to the outside, which he does, and maximizes the amount of yards that he could get on this specific play. Here we have a well-blocked counter play, and Jonathan Taylor accelerates, and then no DB wants any part in tackling him. But I think the most impressive part here is the fact that this is the second time they had already played this season, and these defensive backs already knew the force Jonathan Taylor ran with. And when you watch here, the defensive back that whiffs on the wide open tackle is Jeff Okudah, number 3 overall pick to the Detroit Lions. So if you have a guy that's that good, scared to tackle you in open field, you know you're a problem. I love this. This is Jonathan Taylor obviously breaking tackles, but what I love most, he keeps his eyes up the entire time, and once he breaks number 20's tackle, he knows to cut outside and then gun it up the field in order to get those extra 10 to 15 more yards, which consistently make him a home run threat. Here, Jonathan Taylor runs the wheel route from the I formation, and he flattens his wheel before turning upfield to create separation on what is a cornerback. And once he catches the ball, it's Jonathan Taylor time, takes a 202-pound corner, and takes him for a 20-yard ride. Just unbelievable. We'll end things off with Jonathan Taylor wheel route. Not really much separation, great coverage by the linebacker, but nonetheless, Jonathan Taylor adjusts, catches the ball, scores a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor is a guy who dominated at the college level. He averaged over 2,000 yards and 18 touchdowns a season, so we know the ability was there in college. But the question is, how does his ability or his production translate to the NFL? So yes, he has the athletic profile that you want from a player going into his rookie year. He runs a 4.39 40. He's over 225 pounds. He's simply a freak of nature when it comes to athletic ability. But what I came away most impressed with on tape is not the way he's able to run through people and whatever. It's the way he processes the game. This guy knows how to set up his blocks. He's patient, and he creates with his linemen when there's nothing currently blocked for him. So his anticipatory skills, especially in traffic, to me is just second to none. He's probably the best running back prospect we've had since Saquon Barkley, and one of the best college runners we've seen since Ezekiel Elliot. So if you're comparing him to those two names, you know you're in great company. And he's a player that, for fantasy purposes in Dynasty, I think he's going to have the absolute best career out of all of the players or all of the rookie running backs that were drafted next to him. But I think for redraft in 2020, you definitely want to get Jonathan Taylor on your team as well, because this is a superstar talent, similar to what we've seen with Ezekiel Elliott, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. He's a transcendent runner of the football. So what you want to know is he going to do that his rookie year? I can't give you a sure answer on that. I know sure as hell if I was the Colts, I would give this kid 300 touches. But what you should do is try to get on the bandwagon a year too early before you're on the bandwagon too late. So get him while the price is still low and expect him to blow up on any given game. He's a superstar talent, and he's going to perform like it in the NFL. If you guys like this video, you can do three things. You can like this video, you can subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and third, you can comment which player you want to go into the First Take Fantasy Film Room next.